Who is our first guest, Johnny?
Our first guest, it's interesting. When I last year, 13 months ago, decided to have the first Global Vision Conference, I first called Tim Peterson, and told him my vision that for the first time, we're going to bring artists, musicians, business people, entrepreneurs, politicians, the mayor, um, children, all around the theme of visions. And we're going to support each other's visions. And we're going to declare that by the end of the decade, we're going to feed and clothe every child and share movies and popcorn with them. And he said, "Oh my goodness, Johnny, you're giving birth." And I said, "Yes," because it was 9 months out. And he said, "How excited." I'm in. And I then went inside and I asked myself, who do I want as my lead speaker? Who do I want as my keynote person? And I just prayed, and for and Wendi Blum came into my mind, and I believe it's because she too is called. She has a mission, a vision, and she inspires, and she doesn't compete. She just is. And that's a great thing in this world. We're all competing. What speaker's better? What's this? Wendi just doesn't compete. And I thought that's what I want, because I wanted to bring people together in a non competitive way all around the theme of vision. And so I got her number. She and I have never spoken on the phone. I went to a conference she put on years ago, but I just called her right out of the blue, and I told her my vision, and she said, "Johnny, I would be honored." And that was it. That's how Wendi and I became connected. She led off the Global Vision Conference, and here she is leading off as our speaker. The wonderful, the incredible. I call her Girl on Fire because Harry, I'm sure you're watching right now. Your girl is on fire, man. And I am so pleased and honored, Jody, for the two of you to bring Wendi Weiss to our stage. Welcome.
Welcome, Wendy.
Ah, gosh, thank you so much. It's such a great honor to be here. I'm like over the moon for the Global Vision Conference, for you, Johnny, Jody, to be able to share this platform with you and everybody that is watching. I've been watching on my phone until I came on, and I just want to say hello to everyone. We honor you. We see you. We're all connected. We're all in this thing together. So we all rise together. So it's truly a great privilege to be here.
Yes.
And I absolutely want to say, I love, Johnny, what you said about Wendi, that she doesn't compete. It's like we all have our own unique talents to share. And so I would love to hear more about this, because there's so much competition in the world. So how can we just step into that it's okay to just not compete?
Well, that's been something that I've had to learn along the way, because I remember being in high school and feeling like I didn't belong, kind of feeling like an outcast, and feeling different, and then wanting to fit in, and then wanting to be like everybody else. So, kind of mirroring what everybody else is doing. And then I guess my turning point didn't happen until I was in my 40s. I would say that for me to have the clarity that is all about collaboration, that we're not reinventing anything new, and that we are stronger together. So just because you have maybe the same profession, let's say you're in real estate and you're in real estate together. So you can collaborate and work together and rock your real estate business. It doesn't matter what industry that you're in, you're an artist, you have your own. There are a lot of artists, right? But you have your own personal style in what you do. If you're drawing a heart, a heart artist, or you draw, a person, and it's the way it's coming out of you. It's coming out of your creativity and your mind. And we all are unique, and we all have gifts, and we all have amazing talent inside of us. Like, it's a matter of giving ourselves permission and not say it's already been done, because it's already been done, but it's not been done by you.
Go ahead, Jody. Keep going.
I love it. I love it. Johnny, you can jump in too.
Okay. Okay. Well, Wendi, why does it take till someone's 40 to find themselves?
You know, a lot has to do with your upbringing. So I had a very difficult upbringing, probably like a lot of people that are listening. The concept of personal growth, the concept of thoughts become things, those were new ideas introduced to me later in life. Thank
Okay.
goodness. And I feel so grateful that happened, that it's never too late. I think it happened
Never too
for
late.
me later in life so that I can model later in life what that looks like. And I can share the stories of what it didn't look like. So when I work with my private clients, you know, they're launching businesses. Many of them are heart-based entrepreneurs that are setting the world on fire. They're coaches, they're creatives, you know, or they're taking their career, their business to the next level, but they're filled with passion. Their mission, like you, Johnny, their mission is their fuel. It's what wakes them up in the morning, like fired up, and actually have a disciplined spiritual practice, whether it's meditation or journaling or walking or exercising, no matter what it, breath work, doesn't matter what it is, it's unique for each one of us. And I'm so grateful actually that I had my path and that it happened for me later. So now I have the insight of both, what it's like not to have it and what it's like to have it.
Yes, this contrast that we need sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. Universal laws of polarity. When you know what you don't want, a lot of people talk about, like, I don't know what my vision is. Well, when you know what you don't want, you start there. So you get really clear about what you don't want. And then you get those wheels turning with an open mind, because we are all infinite and we all have infinite potential that exists inside of us. What we seek is seeking us. And so when we start to get clear about what we don't want, I had a long, long, long list of what I didn't want. And that served me. And then you get clear what that is. And then what's the opposite of that? And then you think about, like, lousy relationship. I don't want another guy like that. I don't want a lousy relationship. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? A great relationship. What does a great relationship look like? Great communication, being connected. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Talking about visioning, so you can actually use your visioning muscle, that you can mentally dress, rehearse what it is that you want. So you get clear what that looks like, that you want fabulous relationships. And then you're priming your brain, the subconscious mind, conscious mind. This part for me was the aha, because I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. So for 25 years, I launched new drugs. And because I became so fascinated by how quickly my life changed, how it went from here, you know, it was good. I had a lot of professional success. But when I understood this piece around thought become thing, what happens to the brain? I was like, 15 years ago, what is happening to my brain? And then Google finding neuroplasticity, that you can remodel the brain, that you can reprogram the subconscious mind. I'd never been an entrepreneur. I had to reprogram my subconscious mind that I'm good at technology, that I can launch, if I can launch drugs, that I can launch amazing heart-centered entrepreneurs, take their business and set their business on fire. Because if I can launch medication for people after they're already sick, and many of those people, because they're not living their truth, so they're conflicted inside of themselves, like, oh my goodness, of course, the disease being out of ease, running around and stress and all that, and trying to pretend like you have it together. We don't have it together. We're figuring it out. We're experimenting with life. And I'm so grateful that I had all those years in pharmaceutical, because I thought of everything. Oh my goodness, you guys, I've got to share this story. There's this gigantic monarch butterfly that keeps flying over here. And whenever something really amazing is happening, like right now, the monarch butterfly comes in and like,
Love it.
this big, he's like right here, right here.
Love
So
it.
what happens is, we have to have that contrast, right? So, but it gave me, if everything is a jigsaw puzzle and you're pulling the pieces together, pharma was so important to me. I learned about research, doing research, understanding the science, and the science was key. What's the science behind launching a new website and believing you can do it and getting into your creativity when you work out of your left hemisphere? How do you go from being left hemisphere oriented, dominant, and then activate your right here, and then bring on your creativity so that you can rock your world, both personally and professionally? And that is doable because we have to know what the other side of that looks like to move into that. And you can see I am highly passionate about this.
Yes. It's so important. It's so important to be clear and then also to let go of that what you don't want, right? Because otherwise we can, if we keep thinking, well, we don't want it, we don't want it, we don't want it, what shows up? What we don't want.
Exactly what we resist will persist. Yeah. Exactly what we resist. And so you bring up releasing and letting go. So in our mind, our brain works by, it's actually a registry of the past. So our brain and our bodies are conditioned to our past. That's why we keep doing the same things and we get the same results. So in order to remodel the neurons, the neural pathways, and all that in our brain, and to get into heart coherence, and that's why they talk about your why and know your mission is so important. If you're listening and you want to launch a business or you want to take whether it's what your personal mission is for your family or whether it's what your mission, it's all mission driven. That's why the Global Vision Conference, that's why I had to say yes immediately, Johnny, because you are so mission based. You're all in your heart. You're authentic. You're real. You're just like, you go for it. Everyone that knows you can feel you. You're a beautiful person from the inside out. And what I know to be true right now, if we could close down the world like this, if we could close down the world, close every airport, every country, every business,
Yes.
if we can do that in a number of weeks, then it's only a mindset that says that we can't clothe all the children and feed all the children. We can reprogram our mind, and we can mentally dress rehearse and see those beautiful children. We can see them with joy, a smile on their face. We can right now all join together in collective consciousness and see them all around the world watching movies. Oh my God, we go back to our favorite movie when we were a kid. And popcorn, because when we bring, the reason why the popcorn, this is why it's so important, because when we bring in all of our senses, when we taste something, when we see something, when we hear something, when we touch something, we amplify it. We are actually having a visceral experience in our body. And together, in collective consciousness, connected to the universal consciousness of creation, of life itself. And this virus is giving us an opportunity to pause and to think about what we want, what we don't want, what matters most in the world. And we are one humanity. We're all connected. We feel connected. Now, don't you feel connected to all your brothers and sisters that are also home? They're also on quarantine. Their businesses are also closed. We can feel that right now. There's a gateway open to the divine or whatever it is that you believe in right now that we can step into personally, because we have to own it for ourselves. Like own our own vision and step into our own vision, because empowered people empower other people. And now's that time.
So I'm getting directions from our director. His hair's on fire. He's excited. The whole world is on fire, Wendy. So let's pause. He's directing. Wendy just shared, empowered people empower others. Who do you know right now that could use inspiration? Who do you know that could be empowered? Share the page, share the live feed. Who is lonely right now? Who is isolated? Who wants to laugh? Who wants to hear the powerful words that our speakers, that my sister Wendy just shared? And we haven't even gotten into, I don't even know what time it is, but we're only just getting started. But these are words of encouragement, as well as you're a part of something. You're with us. So who do you care about? Like them, enjoy, share. Um, because it's a community. It's a community, and we're a team. Every person that you'll see today is on this team of vision and inspiration. And so that's, I'm just sharing. It's not about numbers. It's about, who do you care about? The people who are to be enrolled in the vision that Wendy just shared, of course, we can do this by the end of the decade. Um, there are people that need to hear this. So we just pause while people are inviting their friends, Wendy. Jody, do you have a question for Wendy? Wendy, again, thank you. That was just inspired. That was inspired.
It really, really was, Wendy. And I love how you have this journey that you stepped into a little later in life. Everyone has their own story, and that you can share that. So, what do you think about these challenges that come up? Even if you know your vision, if you don't have your vision, what is it that can pull people through when there's a reset or something we're going through now? What is that magnetic force that keeps people going or gives them a sense of hope?
I'm glad you asked that question, because there are a lot of challenges out there. A lot of people struggling. We here have struggled, still are going through struggle. We're doing the best that we can. I do have a couple techniques that I use that I'd like to share. And so, okay, so how's my sound? Because I just want to make sure I'm getting like a little bit of, okay.
I can
So
hear you
sound
clearly.
okay?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Jody, you can hear clearly, yes.
Okay. So let's see what I have. If I have like a piece of paper. Okay, piece of paper and a pen. So one of the tools that I use is to write a word. That's the word trust, right? Take the word trust. Words become things, right? And this word trust, I will write it. I will put it in front of me. I will put it underneath of me and sit on it. To actually sit on it. The word trust. So that is just one tool, really quick, when you're right in the midst of something that you can barely breathe. That's what I go to when I can barely breathe. When you can't like I can't positively vision the outcome because there's so much stress going on right now in my life. I can't breathe. So something really simple and easy to do. Beforehand, it's also anticipating issues. Like, know they're going to be issues. There are going to be struggles. Right now, as we're re-entering into the new normal, this is going to make us feel uncomfortable. And there's going to be a lot that we're going to be navigating that we don't even know what it looks like yet. So giving yourself permission. I work with private clients, and they could be on fire. And then, of course, a setback. We all have the setbacks, of course. I like to think about this. It was many years ago. It was a bad month. I had 3 people pass that were close to me. And I can immediately feel it was years ago. One of them took their life, and I could barely breathe. That's not something that you can just wish away or visualize away in a moment. So what I do personally is I give myself like a date. I gave myself a month of mourning, a month of self-care, extra self-care. I went to the yoga studio. I'd be in the back corner where nobody would see me. I do a lot of yoga. I know people in the community. I just didn't want anybody to see me. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I went in the back corner and I would cry through class, cry through class. I would give myself that space to do that. Sometimes we need a day and we can say in 2 days or tomorrow, today I'm going to stay home. I'm going to be in bed and I'm going to give myself permission to feel. So that's number 2. And I have to give you like all 3 of these just because we're all going through hard times right now.
Go ahead.
I also take out, it used to be a piece of paper, now it's an index card because I changed my process. And first thing in the morning, I write, dear God, higher power, dear angels, dear the universe. And I write a note. First, I begin with not, this is what I want, can you help me? I start with thank you. I start with thank you for all the blessings in my life. Thank you for a roof over my head. Thank you for my health. Thank you for the chair that I'm sitting on. Thank you that I now have readers that I can now see. Thank you. I just write thank you. And that process grounds me in the morning just by connecting to something bigger and greater and actually writing it out so that it can go deep in a feeling and feeling it. So those are 3 of the tools that I share.
I love it. I love it. So it's trust. Give yourself permission to be okay. Like it's okay. It's okay to take that time that you need. It's okay to rest. I just had a good friend of mine, try to scramble her business from events to online events. And I said, what do you want? She's like, no, my 2 boys, they're almost teenagers. I just want to spend time with them. And I said, well, would it be okay if you just did that for a month? And she gave herself permission to say, yeah, yes, I am going to just plan a family talent show online. And she's doing all of these things and she gets to play because sometimes we forget to play. Like it's okay. We don't have to stress and be so serious all the time. Like permission. I love that.
Yes. And you're reminding me of a 4th one I have to add, is that connect with someone who's not going to go and just commiserate around it, but is going to lift you up. Not just where you're going to complain about it. Be very careful who you choose to share your struggle with. Somebody that can hold the space and elevate it for you. Hold the positive outcome like you do, Johnny, like you do, Jody, that you hold the positive outcome with that person together and you lift them up. That you have somebody that you know that you can reach out to that can do that. Yep. I'm glad you brought that up because that is a really powerful and what you're able to share and you gave your friend permission. When we hear it, it lifts us. That's beautiful.
Yes, that's so important. Absolutely. That lifting and elevating person in your life. That's a special role to audition for in your life. And you get to cast that person.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thank you note to God, to source, to the world. Beautiful.
I have used this time and I've been saving in a box all the thank you notes I've been writing in the morning during quarantine, during COVID. It's never, and you can start at any point, but I want to be able to go back through those index cards and be able to read them as the reminder of the resilience and the endurance that we have during this time.
Yes, because we might go back online and things get busy again. Will we recall what we learned?
Yes.
Very good. I love it. Well, Wendi, I see you are on fire. Johnny, I see why she was just so captivating when you
Mhm.
first learned about her. And
Yeah.
Wendi, you are a star.
And
Well, we all are. I love you guys. I love you guys. Like this is like right here, and everybody that is watching. I do. I was like, it's before I was going on. You can actually tag somebody so that they can. I was like tagging and tagging and tagging and tagging your friends. If someone hears something, and they will today, they'll take away one idea, maybe something they have heard before, but it's just that 10th time or that 100th time they hear it. And then the aha moment happens. And that's what you have created, a platform all day, today, with the most amazing speakers. I am honored to be here, really, and for everybody that is here watching and part of this.
we this is the conference, and this is how we're going to feed and clothe every child on the planet, because it's an intent, and it's going to be through the women that are setting it, because women are the ones that take care of the children. And if women are empowered, children have food and clothing and movies and popcorn, and we men get behind you. So the awe of seeing two powerful souls in their vision, in their spirit, is just empowering. And so now we'll continue the journey with a singer who is go ahead. This is the magic of today. This is a dear friend of Wendy's. Give us a little promo of who Julia is to
Ah,
you.
okay. So I don't know if she's actually going to tell her story. She might just come on and sing. So Julia, I love you so much. I'm going to share a little bit of your story. This woman, 1 year ago, this phenomenal performer, singer, who is a singer for Cirque du Soleil. That is the level that she's at, a performer. She's phenomenal. She's grown up in a family of performers. She's been singing since she's 4 years old. So, hey, I get emotional. I live my emotions. I wear it on my sleeve.
Absolutely.
A year ago,
Absolutely.
1 year ago, in probably 1 month, she was on her bicycle and she got to a red light, and there was some sort of red light, it's clear, she looks, she continues, a car slams into her. She is flown from the car onto the pavement in the hospital. It is a miracle and blessing that she's alive today. She's had multiple surgeries. She's had a really tough year, and she's back. She still has a hurdle to cross. She still has surgery ahead of her. There she is. Julia, I'm talking about you. Hi. I hope this is okay. I know you're singing, but I hope this is okay.
Absolutely.
They were bringing me that I'm sure it's perfect. You're on fire today.
Well, I'm sharing your story of a year ago, Julia.
Yeah.
And gosh, oh my goodness. And you now have, and Julia, she teaches performance and she teaches singing, and she's done it in person. So in the last 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, she's had to reinvent herself.
Yes.
Learn all the technology, pull together singing groups, courses online. She is rocking it. She's on fire. Her classes are phenomenal. She's reinvented herself and she's healed herself, physically healed herself. And I interviewed Julia on my podcast about the power of singing to heal. So if you're listening to this, like, and you turn on some music in the background, you just start singing. I'll just share this 1-2 second story, but I jumped in her class the other day from bed, and I didn't even have the video on, and I was exhausted and tired. I was working all day, and I just listened. It was so uplifting. It was so inspiring. It was so uplifting. So, Julia, that's Julia.
Thank you so much, Wendi. That's wow, what an introduction. I appreciate it so much. You know, it has been the whole year. You were talking about change and everything that we're going through. The whole year has been a year of change for me because I felt like, you know, nothing. I felt like I was immortal. Nothing could get me down. And then one day I go for a bike ride and that comes to a stop. The world as I knew it came to a stop in an instant. And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that has had an experience, you know, it may not have been to them, but to a loved one or to a friend, but they understand what I'm talking about. In that one moment, your life changes just like that. I'm blessed that I'm not paralyzed, I can stand, I'm alive. And, you know, that's what has kind of kept me going this whole time is those goals to get back to not to who I was, but to a better version of who I am. And it's almost like been a rebirth for me over the last year, a rebirth not only of that, but of I have new dreams and new goals, and they just all of a sudden seem possible. They seem possible to me, and that's where I am right now. And I think that when I am teaching, it sort of feeds into those lessons a little bit because I'm feeling so inspired by the new things that are coming up, the group lessons, all the camaraderie and the support that people are showing to each other, and that's what I want to talk about just for a second before I sing, because this song that I'm going to do talks about dreams, and it's that dream that you have yourself. It all starts with the dream. I mean, you know, we all remember that famous speech, I Had a Dream, by Dr. Martin Luther King, and he still lives to this day. That is alive and it's happening, and it applies to so many different aspects of our life. I had a dream that I had a wonderful relationship. I had a dream that I could sing, and I talk to people all the time that say, I had a dream that I could sing, but I try, and you know what? It starts with the dream, and it goes from there. I believe that if you want something and you want it enough, and you're willing to work for it, those dreams can come true. Just like today for Johnny and this wonderful movies and popcorn movement, it's something that's coming true for him. And I have to tell you, just from personal experience, that's the best. There is no other feeling in the world than to be able to move on those dreams that you have. So the song that I want to do for you today and open up the singing for this conference is all about the dream. So I want you to listen closely to the words of this beautiful, iconic song called Over the Rainbow. When all clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow, a highway to be found, leading from a window pane to a place beyond the rain. I heard The rainbow. Oh, why?
We're raising our popcorn cups. We're raising our popcorn cups. Julia, what you don't know is that so my vision came to me as a child. I was alone in my home late at night, and I saw these starving children on television. It didn't make sense to me, and movies and popcorn were my favorite thing of being alone as a child. And when I saw this show on these starving children, I said, got angry at God. I said, God, feed them. Like your God, feed them, and share movies and popcorn with them too. And my favorite movie, where I felt safe as a child, my favorite movie where I felt I was fed, I had comfort, I had a family, was The Wizard of Oz. And so today, here we are. We're all going on this journey. We're all going on this journey, and you just hit it out of the ballpark. This train, this Global Vision Conference train, baby, it is out of the station. Wally, Tim, Victor, we are out of the station. We have steam. Thank you. Thank you.
All starts with the dreams and imagination. Thank you for having me on today to be able to share my heart and my vision.
Wow.
You're doing a wonderful thing there, Johnny. And this hopefully this your conference today will inspire. It will inspire people to think out of the box. It will inspire people to believe that dreams really do come true. They really do. And maybe they don't the first time or the second time, but they do come true if you keep trying and keep working and keep imagining. You just become a better version of who you are, and those dreams get better and better and better. And they are achievable. They are. And this is part of my job as a vocal coach. I feel like it's not just about teaching people how to sing, but it's really largely about teaching people to believe that they can sing. So it's really more a mental game than it is even physical for singing. And it's such an uplifting experience for people. I want people, that's a vision for me, the people to be able to find their voice and to express themselves through music, because it's such a wonderful tool to be able to open your heart up and to sing a song that makes you tear up and makes you really get excited or makes you have fun. It really allows you to express all of your emotions. And I just think that this song tells that story so beautifully. Whatever your dream may be, and maybe it came to you as a child, just like it did for Johnny.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. I absolutely love that you said, earlier you shared that someone wanted to sing, but it wasn't maybe their thing. And the idea is that we explore, right? We discover. And because it doesn't have to be that thing, but it's the momentum and the movement and the discovery. And then it will lead you in some way, it will lead you forward to that thing.
It's so well said, and it's really funny because I did a group vocal lesson last night, and we talked about that very thing that we're talking about right now. It keeps coming up, so it must be very, very important in my life right now, because I watched a video that Wendi did, and it was all about being imaginative and really getting in touch with your senses. In singing, I taught a lesson about visual singing last night before I even watched the video, and now here we are talking about it again. But you have to visualize these things, and then you have to be prepared to take chances. And it's not always going to sound perfect. Listen, still to this day, I've been singing for years. I've sung all over the world, and I still get nervous, and I still sing at home and crack, and I still make mistakes on stage, and I miss lyrics. But it's about making those bold choices and stepping out of yourself and facing that you're trying something new, and failing a couple of times. But if you keep trying it, you're gonna get better at it. And maybe your goal is to sing, I don't know, singing karaoke. Maybe your goal is to sing in church. Maybe your goal is to sing in the shower. Whatever. Or maybe your goal is to sing on Broadway. And that, for some people, sounds like, well, it's impossible. I used to think when I was young, oh, well, that's so far away. I grew up in a small town, and I didn't have, I had a few options, but not like you would have in a big city. But I took advantage of those chances to sing. They were chances not just to sing, they were chances to learn. And it gave me a platform to learn. And I did, and I'm eternally grateful for those people that allowed me to realize my dream as a singer. So who knew? Who knew when I was 2 years old and I stood up in church and I sang a song that I would be singing, all over the world. I had no idea. So it's a dream come true. Truly is.
Thank you. Thank you. Wendi, you too. I mean, this is the show. This is the show. It's things, magic is happening that we don't even think of. And these three empowering women, empowering each other, and us men standing with you. It's a beautiful thing. And so, yeah, hearing that song to start this journey. Victor, do we have? I'm looking at my director. We have our next guest now. I'm going to tell if we'll keep you guys on while I introduce her, and then we'll. She's pardon. Great. Okay, so. Okay, excellent. So the journey is happening, and I can't pick, but I have three Glinda the Good Witches in front of me. I mean, you are. I guess they call me the wizard, the man behind the curtain with the wizard. Because wait, here's the story. Wait, so on the 80th anniversary, you guys know that picture of me, Victor. If we could get that picture of me, there's a photo of me in a white suit with this tie on, holding a popcorn cup up at the IMAX in Fort Lauderdale. Well, I was going through, I got the newspaper the day before, and I saw the 80th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz is going to be playing at the IMAX on the large screen. Now, this was my favorite childhood movie. This vision came from that movie. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to go. I've never seen it on the screen. And I've never seen it with a group of people. I've only seen the movie with my family and then on video by myself throughout the years. I have to go. And I told an individual, Suzanne Dwyer, to hold this vision. I'm crazy, but I have to change my whole schedule. I have to be at this movie. And I woke up that morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting dressed up. And I looked in my closet and I'm like, I had my white suit. I've only worn this suit twice. The day I bought it for an incredible charity empowering young girls in Ghana, Africa. And I married a couple once in it. So I've only worn this suit twice. So I married a couple on the beach, and I said, you know what, God, today's the day to put that suit back on. I haven't worn it in years. And what tie? A tie of enthusiasm and abundance and wonder. And I went and I sat there, and the experience of hearing kids laughing and the joy, I'm sitting there talking, this is unbelievable. This is remarkable. And then this is when the witch went down, it was quiet. This little kid, couldn't have been 4 or 5 years old, goes, uh-oh. It's like, and the whole theater's quiet. He goes, uh-oh. And I just had a blast. And then I'm outside, and I'm waiting for my friend who drove. She went down the way into the IMAX, into the thing. And I'm there, and I'm like, and I have my pop, and I'm just in awe. And this little kid, he looked like me. He had his hair. He was about 9. He had his hair down like this. He's looking up at me, and he goes, "You were in there, weren't you?" I said, "Well, yes, I was." And I'm thinking that I was in the movie theater, you know. And he goes, "I knew it. You were the wizard." So then I realized he thinks I was the wizard in that movie. And here I am outside now holding the popcorn, dressed up. And I thought for a second, and I go, yeah, I am the wizard. And these kids, he said, "It's the wizard. It's the wizard." This is at the IMAX theater. They're all coming around me. They're all, "He's the wizard. He's the wizard." And the kids are like in joy. I'm like, "Yes, I am the wizard. And we're going to feed and clothe every child." And they're like, "Yes. And we're going to share movies and pop." And the kids were willing to follow me, whatever I was doing. This is now when security comes at the IMAX. What is going on? Who's happening? And it was a metaphor. It was a reminder to me that we're all on a journey. We're all kids today. We're going to be Dr. Yelena is going to be talking about the wonder of childhood. So we're tapping in today to that magic of intuition and the experience I got remembering it. And then here, never knowing you, but hearing you sing that one night, said, "This is the starter. This is the one that's going to start the conference." So magic.
I'm so grateful. Thank you. I feel so honored to be able to share in this very positive and exciting movement and dream. I love it. Thank you.
So people can go online. They can share their visions. They can share their dreams on the Facebook page. They can go to our page, Movies and Popcorn Movement, and like it, because then you'll get information. Later on today, we're going to have Paula DeNiro from the One Organization and Alex Gordon from CARE, which One Organization puts politicians and governments in line to help the poor and the needy, which is the One Organization. And then CARE is boots on the ground throughout the world where children are in need, where girls need to be empowered. CARE is the organization. So this is a journey of movies and popcorn today.
Yes. So bring your popcorn, pop some popcorn. You can eat it while we're hanging out and having this amazing conversation.
I have a full bucket today. I've actually been eating it.
Right now, I'm getting ready.
Victor, who's our next speaker? Pardon? Okay. So Jody, while Victor mics Jessica up, tell us about what you have created. Wendi, because you talked to me like 3 weeks ago. I'm hearing all about Jody, Darren, and this the vision mapping experience, and how incredible it is, and how it's changing lives, and visions are coming alive, and how professional and beautiful it is. Remember, Wendi, you called me, we were talking about it?
Sure did.
Tell us, Jody, where did this vision to create this course come from, and how can we become a part of it?
Well, the story for me started back in 2004, Johnny, because for those watching who may not know, I used to support Johnny with his events. He used to have an event called Vision Miami back in 2004, and it was a networking event that was like none other. It was basically all of these people coming together on the premise of sharing their vision. So rather than going to a networking event where you're saying, "Hi, my name is, Jody, and I'm a real estate agent. What do you do?" It was more about like, what inspires you and what's your vision and what does that really mean? It was such more of a meaningful event. And so I was lucky to be able to learn from Johnny and co-host with him and be part of that experience as I was building my TV career.
I can't see.
And learning. And so that's where it started for me, understanding the value of a vision. And I've always made vision boards. And what I did is I ended up using the bagua from Feng Shui, because right now I'm studying Feng Shui. And it's a great way to really use your home as a living meditation and to really get intentional about the spaces around you and clear out the clutter and, and attract things into your life. So I used the bagua, which looks like this, as you can see. And
Yeah.
it has different areas and different things, of life, different categories. And then this year, as I was making my vision board, I didn't have any magazines. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to write down in a journal format what it is that I really want to create in my life. And I just got really clear about the vision that I want for myself in wealth and prosperity. And I had fun, like getting inspired, because that's the key behind it. Get inspired about these pieces of it, things that like make your heart smile, and what does it look like to have this perfect vision of health? I wrote it down and I started writing it, and I did it with my lovely partner Julian, and we did this together, and we spent some time, and it was really cool because we ended up filling in those little boxes with what we wanted, and then we're able to share that with each other and share our visions, and it just built on itself this year. And as I got deeper and deeper into it, realizing that the questions that we ask ourselves is really what drives us, the quality of these questions, really the depth of the questions that we ask define what it is that we really are going for. And so I put together a course with it's a 2-hour guided journaling course, and it's about getting clear on what it is that inspires you, and then having a map as a reminder to stay on track. Because I think a lot of times we can have these ideas about what we want to be doing, and then we get caught up in other people's projects that maybe take us off of our path and kind of derail us a little bit, and we get caught up in things that maybe aren't important. We need a good reminder to come back on. So it's an exercise of discovery.
Yeah, it's really impactful, the whole course. I've taken it, and I keep learning about vision. You keep seeing things in a different light. You keep seeing things in a different way, and you've mastered it. It really is remarkable how you've mastered it. And we'll mention it in every hour. But I also, before we have to say hello to our next guest, and Wendi goes into the green room, we're going to keep you around as much as possible all over the place on Facebook, Wendi, wherever you are. You are my other Glenda here. But you also created this 7-day experience, a 7-day journey that I took last week. That is, it's like 7 days, a lead in to like even a vision map experience that Jody has. Just real quick, tell us about it before you leave, because people can go online right now, both of your courses, the 7-day journey that you shared. Go ahead, Wendi, tell us how we can find out about it.
Well, actually, so that challenge, like we had 7 days, so that's already completed. Yesterday was our last day. But what I have been working on for a year and a half is actually done. And it's not even a year and a half, it's been 6 years. Every year, I put together a planner calendar journal. And it's a roadmap for your year, the 365 days. Right. So I have done this every year. And then in January, for some reason, I didn't do it this year. I wanted 2 years to create this one. So this is going to be the 7th edition. And what I'm so grateful for is that I'm able to incorporate the new normal into this system. And that's going to be launching really, really soon. So I guess anybody is interested, because I'm all about high performance in a way that feels right, that adds in a lot of grace and a lot of discernment so that we don't burn ourselves out. So I think that right now we're being called to the new normal, not to go back to the way things were. And I really do believe that that's why I did not create that calendar, because we were so calendar driven. And this new one is about really honoring who you are. And so I'm so proud of it. I've always liked it. I always thought it was like so useful. A lot of people have used it, but this one is way more soulful. I mean, this is for the new world. So thank you for asking.
Thank you.
And Wendy, I hear you have some amazing mastermind groups as well.
Well, thank you. I put together the mastermind groups that go along. So it's a partnership. So while you're in the process, you have a whole support community so that you're co-creating together. Like we meet on Zoom and we're co-creating and we're sharing our business dreams, our personal dreams, and then we're mapping it out, and then we're putting together the action steps, and then we're supported by each other because we all learn from each other. We're all sharing, and it's all about the collaboration, right? Like with what you're doing here today. So yeah, I think it's important to do things in community as well.
Well, yeah, and I want to mention the community because I'm in both your communities, Wendi. Our group, our 9 o'clock hope. What is it called? What is our group called?
It's Daily for Humanity.
Daily for Humanity.
Every day
at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. We are just a team. You guys that are watching, I love you. I would not be as solid and grounded and clear on this vision for today if it hadn't been for you guys every morning holding it for me, and our Tuesday night or Tuesday noon coaching group, and the joy of being a part. Again, I think I'm the world's greatest visionary as far as knowing about visions. I don't know anyone in the world that has studied vision more than me. But I'm in your course. I'm in Jody's course because it's all about life, and visions keep coming and supporting other people's visions. We have a classmate in Jody's course that I took with her from Michigan. A schoolmate from Michigan is now discovering her vision through Jody's course. So immerse yourself, continue to immerse yourself. And Wendi, I know you're going to be with us throughout the day. Thank you for the courage to speak with passion and to just let it go and just let it out this morning, and to be on fire and to support all these different visions and who you are, and for starting our conference off today. We love you.
It's an honor, really, to be with both of you and for everybody that's viewing you here. Yeah, really, truly is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendi.